schools is to graduate all students prepared to excel in a global society with a commitment to lifelong learning by guaranteeing a challenging curriculum facilitated by an innovative and dedicated staff, community participation, and state-of-the-art resources in a stimulating atmosphere. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of the conducting the school district business and not to be considered a public meeting. Ms. Allen, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Currington?
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
Mrs. Simmons?
Yes.
And Mrs. Cherry?
Yes. May we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Item D, we will have our mission statement reread by Jerome Scott and Jason Gadd.
Yes.
We are the Rising Rams of Westbrook Village.
They can read both if they
Hey,
want to.
no, read that one. Read that one too. Yeah, yeah, read that one too. Let's hear it.
And then when you are done, huh? Well, you're gonna do ours, okay?
Okay.
They know ours by heart. And then when you're done, you're gonna do this one, okay?
This paragraph.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
And then-
Right now.
No, do ours first and then we'll do that. All right, you got it?
We are the Rising Rams of Westbrook Village. Our mission is to show everyone that we are a community of 21st century learners who can create, communicate, collaborate, and think critically. Together we show respect, accept accountability, maintain motivation, practice self-control, and celebrate success every day. The mission of the Trotwood-Madison City School is to graduate all students prepared to excel in a global society with a commitment to lifelong learning by guaranteeing a challenging curriculum facilitated by an innovative and dedicated staff, community participation, and state-of-the-art resources in a stimulating atmosphere.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Scott and Mr. Gadd. Great job. Next, item E, I would like a motion to adopt the agenda.
I move. I'll second.
Are there any questions? Are there any changes? If none, Ms. Allen, would you please call the roll?
Certainly. Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
Mrs. Currington?
Yes.
Mrs. Simmons?
Yes.
And Mrs. Cherry?
Yes. Motion adopted to, for our agenda. 2 is presentations. The presentation will be by Westbrook Village Elementary with the Cooking Club.
So the three of you, huh? This is, I like that. That's super cool.
So today we are serving you guys a bok choy salad. To me personally, it's one of the best salads I ever tasted. Cause even though we're children, we do a excellent job at cooking, and I'm just gonna say it tastes good. 'Cause
So just for context, those of you that have been over to West before, we have our tower gardens, which grow hydroponically. We now have 6 of them. And so this bok choy was actually grown in the building, on the towers. And the boys have been working throughout the year to learn different things, not only from our towers, but they'll talk to you about why they like this. But when we got the towers, we noticed that kids loved cooking, and that was their favorite part. And so you can only cook so many times in the day. So I said, hey, why don't we stay after school? Why don't we learn some more? Why don't we do a little extra? All right, thanks for being involved. More for our work. Yeah. I did it right around there. There we go. All right. And we challenge you to try this today. How many of our board members have had bok choy?
that's good.
Now you're going to join every student at Westbrook has had this salad. So now you're going to have the crew.
Is the recipe in the book?
It is not in that one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's cool.
Guys have any bok choy soup?
All right, who wants to share a slide with them? Thank you. Oh, I know more than the drama stuff. Oh, they're bashful now.
So
There you go, come on. Now, we did not write this was them. I put up a slide and said, tell them why, this is a new club that the school board approved. Tell them why we should have it or why we did have it.
So we should always have cooking club every year for the fifth grade boys. One, because cooking club is a good idea because cooking takes your mind off of things that frustrate you. Me personally, when you make it yourself, it tastes so good. It also has good health and keeps your body hydrated and alive. Plus, we love to eat it.
All right.
All right, what are some things we learned this time as staying after school? Come on.
How cooking club help us learn is we learn how to cut up small things. Cooking is a hobby that people like to do. Cooking helps your mental health. Cooking teaches you a lot of things. We learn how to handle pepper, garlic, and how to safely cook raw meats.
These are different things we cooked. We cooked pancakes, cookies, s'mores cookies, smoothies, wontons, gumbo, hummus, hamburgers, cupcakes, pizza, coleslaw, egg roll, buffalo dip, salsa, and coleslaw. We started with familiar foods. Oh, the last one was quesadilla. We started with familiar foods, then moved to foods other cultures such as Greek, Asia, and Cajun.
So I had them research the recipes they wanted to do. I didn't pick them. Nothing came out of a box. They had to make everything from scratch. Which means we dealt with a lot of cabbage and cutting and de-seeding and learning what to do when we have peppers or what real garlic looks like. We had a nailed it challenge because all those YouTube videos look super easy. And other than Jerome, the rest of us are not cupcake decorators. Him I'd hire every day.
I will jump in here first and say it was delicious. I'd intended only to taste it, but I ate it all. You were right. And we would like to get a picture, I know, but I don't know if someone else wants to speak.
How many are in the cooking club? Is this everyone?
This is everyone. We did 10 boys because I was the only one. We're hoping next year to start a little earlier, so we can do a couple of rotations. But they kind of liked it only being guys.
Yeah, I like it.
We kind of liked it only being guys, so we may keep it a guy-only program.
I like it. Great job.
Our girls at the time had girls on the run, so I couldn't pull any girls.
Right.
Yes.
There was a reason. I wasn't just choosing randomly, but it turned out kind of fun.
I have a question. How many of you guys have been cooking at home?
Oh, couple, okay.
Can you share what you've cooked?
Until I started taking cooking class, all I really know how to cook was eggs.
And now?
And now I know how to cook Greek food, chicken, a lot of stuff that I can't remember.
Okay.
That's why we went by, and the cookbooks that you have are all the recipes that they've done this year.
that is so
Requested by
nice.
them are, because their teacher is from Louisiana, she wanted to teach them a little bit of our culture as well. Yeah, they know what crawfish.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna slowly turn them to my southern.
Well, great job. Great job.
Great job.
Thank you
great
so
job.
much.
There's a lot of bok choy left.
Yes.
Oh, you guys can go, but the salad has to stay.
And you're welcome to come by next year anytime after school, or you will cook with you.
Okay. Let's give them a round of applause. They did a good job. Okay.
All right. That's what the Village Cooking Mini Edition.
Yeah.
They should have like a little cooking mini. Wouldn't that be cool if they do some of that? And people pay to get in and get a little meal. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay. Our next presentation is Ms. Kenya Akabar. She's, All right. Number 3, the treasurer's report.
Yes, I have several things this evening, A, B, and C. The first one is the approval of the February 2024 financial reports. And so, we did have a finance committee meeting this evening. We did have a chance to discuss that I will be presenting the 5-year forecast in May and how the loss of our ESSER funding will impact the bottom line of the general fund 5-year forecast. So we did talk a little bit about that. All of the reports that we reviewed, and there are about 20 reports, are can be found under your executive tab. So the first report is the cash reconciliation for the month of February. And this report indicates that there is a bank statement balances of $3,966,690.08. We have an investment balances of $23,096,241.63. And then we have adjustments, and those adjustments bring the bank balance to $26,344,979.41. And that does match exactly to the financial system, our meta financial system, which we want every month. The second report is our spending plan for February. And this spending plan indicates our monthly actual, which is for February, and also the fiscal year-to-date actual numbers. And if you look down on line 6.01, I always look at that to indicate whether we're deficit spending or not. And unfortunately, we were in the month of February to the tune of $641,105.92. And what that means is we spent more than we brought in. So fiscal year to date through February, we are in a deficit spending mode of $509,718.33. The third report is a list of checks over $1,000, and you can peruse that, and hopefully I can answer that and answer your questions, and if not, I will be glad to get back with you. But we did not have any questions during the Finance Committee meeting this evening.
Is that all?
And I'm finished.
I need a motion to adopt the treasurer's report, financial report for February 2024.
I move to adopt the report.
I'll second.
Are there any questions? Barring none, Ms. Allen, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mrs. Simmons,
Yes.
Mrs. Currington,
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin,
Yes.
and Mrs. Cherry.
Yes. Motion passes for the February 2024 financial reports. Next is,
I have,
oh, go ahead.
3B is approval of the amended appropriation resolution for FY '24. And in front of you, and it's also under the public tab, is FY '24 changes to the appropriations. And the last time we changed it was the last months at the business meeting. And now for March 21st, the changes are as indicated. We have permanent improvement, our special education fund, our Title I school improvement, or Title I, Title IV, the preschool improving teacher quality. And so all of those, we have a difference of either we increased it or we reduced it based on the comments that I have on the right-hand side. And I said increased expenses or decreased by federal appropriations. So sometimes the federal government will come back and pull some of the money that they have allocated previously, so we have to go back into the system and reduce the appropriations. And so last time we had $58,613,108.74, and tonight I'm asking you to increase that by $997,164.93, and that equals for a grand total for all the funds, $59,610,273.67. So I do ask for approval for that this evening.
So I need approval of the amended appropriation resolution for FY 2024. I need a motion.
I move to approve amended appropriation, FY 2024.
I second the motion to approve the amendment.
Are there any questions? Well, it's been approved. Ms. Allen, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Currington.
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin.
Yes.
Mrs. Simmons. Yes. And Mrs. Cherry.
Yes.
And I have one more item for you. This item has to be, per the Montgomery County Auditor's Office, has to be returned by April 1st. So that's why I had to put this on for action this evening. What this is the county wants the Board of Education to approve the amounts and rates that they are estimating. And so what I put in front of you, another white piece of paper in front of you, is the summary of tax amounts and rates for tax years 2021 through 2025. And so what I wanted you to just see is when they estimate or project what they think that they're going to collect through taxes, I just have some of the data that how much it was collected and how much it was projected. For FY 2022 and 21, I have the collection amounts. But they are asking us, our Board of Education, to approve general fund, permanent improvement fund, classroom facilities fund, and bond retirement fund. Like I said, these are projections that they think that we're going to collect $12,364,226 and taxes. And so I have to fill out this resolution form and send it in by April 1st. So I'm asking this evening that, for action on that as well.
So I need a motion to approve the amounts of and rates for the tax year for 2024, 2025. I need a motion.
I will move to approve the amounts and rates for tax year 2024/2025.
Are there any questions? Do you have any questions?
So, just one question. When did they request that we, like, how long have we known? That
For
we,
a week.
we just,
This past week. I actually brought the email. I can tell you exactly when it's timing. They are on March the 4th at 2:09. So it wasn't last, March the 4th at 2:09. So that didn't give us enough time to put it on the last March meeting.
Okay.
So I had to put it on this meeting, and then they need it back again by Monday, April the 1st. So I had to put it on today's meeting in order to meet their deadline.
So we reported a couple of meetings ago that millages were changing. Does this reflect that change?
Yes, it does, and that's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. So if you look on the summary, under the 2024-25, the millage says under bond retirement fund, 9.07 mils. And if you go to your right, in the last year, it was 10.11 mils. So it did reduce by about 1.4 mils.
And that reflects
So that
our estimate, did that reflect our estimate directly, or like, because I know we had an estimate, I don't have it in front of me, but it was an estimate on that you gave us, and this reflects that.
So when you said there was an estimate, because this is the bond retirement fund, this is Fund 002.
Okay.
So I don't want you to get them mixed. These are different funds. So this is Fund 2. This is the bond retirement fund that we are paying for our school buildings that we built back in 2000.
Okay.
So these are different funds that we're talking about. So the general fund here, this is property taxes. not state funding, this is property taxes.
Taxes, yeah.
Right.
So general fund property taxes, and it gets technical. You have inside millage and outvoted and unvoted millage. Then you have permanent improvement, 003, Fund 03, and Fund 034, that gives us the money to maintain the schools that we built. And then the bond retirement fund, we have until December 2030 to pay the principal and the service fund off. So we have about 6 more years to go.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer.
Mr. Lumpkin, did I answer your question?
Yeah, that's good enough.
So, Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mrs. Simmons? Yes. Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
Mrs. Currington?
Yes.
And Mrs. Cherry?
Yes. Motion passes for the approval of amounts and rates for tax year 2024, 2025. Next is our consent agenda. So approval of the minutes for February 1st, 2024 work session and February 15th, 2024 regular meeting. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I motion.
We do them all together.
You want to do them all together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All the way to Friday. So you need all?
Then,
You need me to take the motion off the floor?
yeah,
All right, I'll take the motion off the floor.
All right, I'm gonna, read through A through H. They're part of our consent agenda. A, we've already had that one, approval of the minutes. B is to accept donation from Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA. C is approval of donations from Life Touch for Westbrook Village Elementary. D is approval of the Trotwood-Madison High School Band overnight out-of-state field trip to Nashville, Tennessee, and Atlanta, Georgia, April 25th through 28th. E is approval of JROTC overnight out-of-state field trip to Columbus, Ohio, and Athens, Georgia, which is April 24th through 28th. Approval of OHSAA membership resolution. G is electric supplier contract, the IGS Energy. H is approval of agreement with UniFirst Corporation. If you'll remember, we did discuss these at our last meeting, so that's how we're able to put them on the consent agenda for approval at one time. Okay.
so I'm asking for approval for the consent agenda. You have any questions? You have any questions?
No, I don't. Yeah.
So I need a motion.
I move to approve A through H on the consent agenda.
I second.
Are there any questions? Okay. Bar none, would, Ms. Allen, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Currington?
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
Mrs. Simmons?
Yes.
And Mrs. Cherry?
Yes, motion passes for the approval of the consent agenda. Next, we have number 5, superintendent's report.
So tonight I have one thing, that's the approval of the personnel agenda. On our personnel agenda, we have recommendation for the approval of the following certified retirements for the 23-24 school year. We have a recommendation on our personnel, classified personnel agenda B. B1 is a recommendation for the approval of the following classified resignations for the 23-24 school year. B2 is a recommendation for the approval of the following classified termination for the 23-24 school year. B3 is a recommendation for the approval of the following classified new hire for the 23-24 school year. B4 is a recommendation for the approval of the following student worker for the 23-24 school year. B5 is a recommendation for the approval of the following classified supplementals for the 23-24 school year. And that's all I have on the personnel agenda.
And I need a motion to approve the personnel agenda.
I motion to approve the personnel agenda.
I second that as stated.
It's been properly moved. Are there any questions? If none, Ms. Allen, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Mrs. Currington,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin,
Yes.
Mrs. Simmons,
Yes.
and Mrs. Cherry.
Yes. Motion passes for the approval of the personnel agenda. Item 6, we'll have discussion and follow-up items and updates.
Okay, I did have a conversation with our board president, and there's some things that I will be getting to the board, and written things that I know there have been a few questions about, so I will get that to you. But what I wanted to discuss today was opportunities for internships, and we have two really good things going on right now. One is a program called Building Future Programs, and that's with the AFL-CIO, and it's about the trades. And so currently, we have an opportunity for our students who will be 18 before they graduate to participate in a school, a class that starts on April 9th and it'll run through May 14th. Now, this would be for students who have already completed their academic things that they need to for graduation. So it's an opportunity for them to end up with a trade certificate if they meet those qualifications, because it is a program set aside on its own. We will probably have some students who qualify for that, and the guidance counselors now have this. We have a person who is designated to pursue these internships and things, one of our counselors. And so she is aware of this opportunity. If our students are not able to do it because the time is so close, then they do have a summer program as well. And it's the same idea. It starts in June, goes through July. And by then, some more of them may be 18 and have their driver's licenses, because that's another piece of it. So that's something I was really excited about. We don't, again, have anyone who's officially signed up for it, but it is there, and we do have a guidance counselor who is taking this role for us. Also, we have, since last year, been working with the group, you may be familiar with it, called SOCI, and what they do is provide us the same type of opportunities for construction and other types of opportunities like that. They realized that they were not making the connections, not just with their school district, but with others, so they have hired someone to work with us, and it's the same idea. They will provide internships, and they will do the lunch and learns. They have a program that they bring to the school, and our kids can go through that program and ultimately not only get an internship, but potentially jobs as well. So that is also in the hands of our counselor, who is excited about working with these things. They have a May 1st opportunity for us to go to a meeting and get our kids involved in that. So so we have those two opportunities, beyond the things that we had talked about here, that we're still, I know, working with the CIC to get some internships once the buildings get built in the city. So I just wanted to let you know about those things, because they're real exciting, and these kids could end up with jobs that start out paying like $20 an hour. And these are free programs.
I have a question. So the Building Future internship,
Mhm.
and is it the SOCI?
Yeah, SOCHE.
Okay. Have we determined how many internships, or is it one per?
Well, no, the classes, they'll take up to 20 students.
Oh, 20.
20 students in the ones, and the other is just like an opportunity to work, but you start, you know, as a senior when you're, because you have to be 18 ultimately before you can start working, but they have a lot of activities to get you prepared before you hit 18, or after you hit 18.
That's social.
That's social.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, the fact, for the 20th, the AF,
Yes,
AFCIO.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have.
that's all you have?
That's all I have.
Okay. Item number 7, treasurer's comments.
Yes, in front of you, I have my March 21st treasurer's update, and there are a couple things on there, good, very good things, but the first one is just what I had indicated before, that we are starting to work on the 5-year forecast, May 5-year forecast, which will be presented hopefully at the work session, at their May work session. We're also, we'll be working on the budgets, finalizing the budgets for this year, and then working on new budgets for FY '25. All of that has to roll into the 5-year forecast, so I will be providing additional information about that. We did receive a grant from the Supply Chain Funds, Brown, for $69,213.27, and that money is gonna be used to supplement the food service operations. I wanted to send a shout out, we did have a grant review, and the guy on the Zoom meeting was very, very complimentary of our district and how well we provided the information about grants. I want to give a particular shout out to Jill Adams, who's our grant coordinator, for all the hard work that she did on, or she does on, managing those grants. So I just want to let you guys know that. And then the last thing was, we had a Zoom call last week with 7 teachers from the high school that are going to be retiring. They actually put together 16 questions for us. And so Mr. Manley and I, we sat there and went over every single question, and they had additional questions on the retirement, and we're going to use that same questionnaire to teach others in terms when they retire. We can go over that same thing. So we just thought that was really good, that they took the opportunity and the time to put that document together. And so unfortunately, we have 7 teachers at the high school that will be retiring. And that's all and then at the end, at the bottom, there's some things, just upcoming meetings or events that we will be attending. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, and that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you. Item number 8, superintendent comments.
First, I would like to acknowledge that presentation from Westbrook Village. They did an excellent job.
They did.
And you can tell the kids have really put their heart and souls into eating, so that was, that was really great. I also wanted to let you know that we had 55 staff members with excellent attendance. And so I acknowledge that by taking them over some gifts and a thank you card for that, for showing up for the kids, because that's very important. And we all know that there are many reasons why people cannot make it to school, but it really should be congratulated for those who can. So I wanted to say that. Also, we sort of mentioned it last meeting, but it actually has taken place. I did receive the Betsy Cowles Award, so I was excited about that at the conference, at the BASA conference. And we had several of our female administrators in attendance, and I believe that they really like the idea of female leadership, and I know they are. They're strong leaders in our district, and so we're looking at having them, you know, participate more in some of our leadership opportunities as well, so that we're sort of starting to grow our own when we think about who's gonna, you know, move into different positions. So we want them to be prepared. And that's all I have.
All right. Well, thank you. And now we're rolling right on to number 9, board comments. Mrs. Currington.
I would just like to acknowledge, as Madam Superintendent did, the gentleman, the young man from the cooking class at Westbrook Elementary. I think that is a great program. I did not get to taste the bakla. Aaron ate mine, so I can't eat it. And I also would like to commend Jerome Scott and Jason Gadd for doing an excellent job reading both mission statements for Westbrook and for the Trotwood-Madison School. Also, congratulations again, Dr. Cosby. And congratulations to all of those teachers those 55 staff members who made it here 100% of the time to make sure that our kids were educated. It's hard to do. And that's all I have.
Okay. Mr. Davis?
Well, I appreciated the treasurer's report, and we had a great finance committee meeting, our board, and apologies for my absence last meeting, everybody. But greetings to our staff, to our admin, the 55 teachers that have made it, been more prompt than me and still been here through all the things that come in life. Appreciate my board for strengthening me through so many different things. When I got here, I didn't really know my place, and I kind of grew into a lot of stuff. Sometimes I'm overzealous at times, but I think I'm just trying to figure it out more and more. And through you guys, especially the new board members, it's been a pleasure so far. Still a little lengthy at times. And then Bessie Cow Award, I really appreciate Madam Superintendent, you receiving that, because when you win, we all win. You are CEO, and I like to stress that. And as the Chief Executive Officer, I'm a little hard sometimes on an assistant superintendent, but hopefully one day he'll realize that that's my little way of saying thanks, and appreciating his expeditious movements when we do talk on the phone or communicate. And our president, you're our leader, and I support whatever you're gonna do in the future in our endeavors here. I think I've watched you become very strong too. AD, I appreciate all the things, all the emails, you keeping us up to date. I'm a sports guy even if I don't act like it, and I really, really appreciate you and Aaron working and getting things done even when I can't be around for them, trying to fix on a house or something. So just thank you for that. And Mr. Manley, I appreciate you as well, and our Madam Principal and Sir Principal. Love to see y'all. Miss y'all. And Miss Ella. Then we got all our little admin here, and I just appreciate y'all. So just thank you, and I'll digress.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Mr. Lumpkin?
So I do have a couple of updates from some of the other committees that I serve on. We've had some initial conversations with the Trotwood CIC about some of the open properties that we have, and just working with them to help, spur development in the city itself. So we had some really encouraging and good conversations, preliminary discussions about some of those sites. And we've got some things that we're talking through, and I feel like there's going to be some exciting things coming to Trotwood because of that work. I also wanted to just, in my work, my regular work, I do financial literacy and run the community bank for J.P. Morgan in the Dayton region, and I've actually had the pleasure of having several Trotwood-Madison students in my youth works class, and they've been very, very active. So I just want to give them a public shout out for the work that they're doing and getting themselves ready for the summer and working. I did want to comment on the anti-bullying rally that we had that our middle school, high school principal, and Madison Park principal participated in with students in the community. It was a very informative session. It was very well put together. However, the attendance wasn't where we would like it to be. So we just want to encourage the parents that when we're when we're advertising these things, these different resources in the buildings, these are the ways that we correct our scores. These are the ways that we can hear from you. There was information given about how you can report if your student's being bullied in school. That's very important information, not just for the buildings themselves, but for the district as a whole. The following day, we had a HBCU college fair where all the historically black colleges and universities were represented. The athletic department, Ms. Norquita Howard, Jonas Smith put those things together. Another very well put together ceremony and community engagement. I actually was there for my work and got to talk to some students about financial literacy, but again, we had some issues with just people attending. So we just want to encourage the community that when these resources are available, they're resources that people say aren't available in our community, right? But they really are, and when we activate them, we want to make sure that our parents are coming out and being a part of those things. And lastly, on a lighter note, I should say, is please come out on Saturday. The Trotwood Wheat Rams are hosting their first in-person registration. They're going to be selling fish and chicken. I have been assured that they will be using separate greases for separate grease pots to fry the things. That's going to happen on Main Street in Trotwood. So those are my comments for the day.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lumpkin. Vice President, Mrs. Simmons?
I think most of you have said everything that I wanted to say. Again, Superintendent Cosby, congratulations on your award. I thought it was excellent that we acknowledge the teachers that come and serve in their attendance every day. So again, we salute and thank you all for doing that. We cannot help our students if you guys aren't strong. So we know your mental health is important too. So we congratulate you and support you and are thankful for you coming to school every day. We know that's hard. Over the weekend, we, Jack and Jill of Dayton, America, hosted the 54th Botillion, and Trotwood had 3 students to gain the top 3 scholarships. So I think that's something we should acknowledge too. Our students doing. Oh, by name.
By name, acknowledge those young men.
Marlon Howard was Mr. Bow this year. Charlie Simmons is my son. He was second runner-up. And then we have Keenez Smith. So those 3 young men were all Trotwood students, and they earned the top scholarships in the Botillion ball this year. So let's acknowledge our students and parents, because it is a lot of hard work. So those are my announcements for today.
I just wanted to add, I saw pictures of the young men and the mothers. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, you really did look very nice, all the mothers and the sons. Yes, congratulations.
And the dads look nice too, we're sure.
I know dads don't get the same amount of love.
Okay, congratulations. I will be brief, but one of the things that I wanted to acknowledge is our Ohio's Sinclair Community College is collaborating with Trotwood-Madison for the emergency medical technician, the EMT, and it ranks through the program using Sinclair College Credit Plus. And actually, we were on the news in reference to that. So congratulations and good job, and I'm hoping that we will move forward in that category. Also, of course, the young men with the mission statements and the Westbrook Cooking Club, we've already acknowledged them, and I just want to piggyback off of that. Congratulations to them. They've done a wonderful job. I just want to say that the HBCU event, I did attend. I attended it last year as well, and I have no doubt that in the future it will grow and continue to grow and continue to grow. I spoke to a couple of the students, and some of them were fascinated by the monies that they could get, scholarship monies, things like that. They were just unaware of some things, so just bringing them up to speed and bringing that HBCU event to our district, I think is grand. And like I said, I hope that we will continue to do that. So great job and thank you. Also, the the internships, I'm really excited about that, for our students to get an opportunity to intern, because all students may not want to choose the path of going to college. So I'm glad that we are trying to get our students enrolled and participating in internships. A couple other things is, we did the approval for the overnighter. I would like if some of the students would come and share their experience
That's a good
with us. To give us a little feedback on what they thought.
Okay.
And the last thing is, we are a working and growing board. We are working together to ensure that we try to move Trotwood forward. It takes all of us, but I've always said it starts at the board, so I appreciate working with everyone here to move our district forward. And I have nothing else after that. Okay. So now, I will need a motion to move into executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual per BOE policy 0166 and ORC 121.22 G1. Action may be taken.
I'll make the motion to move into executive session.
I'll second it.
It's been properly moved. Ms. Allen, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Mrs. Simmons?
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
Mrs. Currington?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
And Mrs. Cherry?
Yes, motion passes. We will enter into executive session at 6:23. executive session.
Wherever.
Adjourn, we're out of executive session. So I need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved. Ms. Allen, please call the roll.
Mrs. Currington,
Yes.
Mrs. Simmons,
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
and Mrs. Cherry.
Yes. Motion adjourned.